Hey guys, I'm here with Gladys, and we met her up in Cebu, and she's moved here to Valencia. And talking to her, she has quite a bit of knowledge with relationships, the way Filipinas think towards foreigners, towards life, the family. And we're going to pick her brain a little bit here today, get her thoughts and ideas. And Gladys is also starting up a YouTube channel. And now, wait a second, guys. I know another YouTuber in DUMAGUETE. I think this channel is going to be extraordinarily good. It isn't up and running yet, but her content is going to be about relationships with other Filipinas and the life of Filipinas, somewhere where you can ask a question of someone who's been through the grind. And we welcome her to the channel. Hi there.
Thank you so much, Mike. I'm happy to be here.
And I know a lot of you guys, and including me, I need the most help on how to deal with your Filipina, your girlfriend here in the Philippines. So, what makes you an expert?
I think based on the experiences that I had, and also just reading books, digesting podcasts, and I really want to understand myself and the way I react with the guys that I'm dating. I've dated for I tried dating for 2 years and it always failed. So I was like asking the question before, like, what's wrong with me? Is there something wrong? Am I not attractive enough?
Right.
Am I not like worthy enough? And those questions were very disempowering. So I started shifting like, what can I do to actually be more worthy? And I found the answer, which is to just directly focus on improving yourself. And when I shifted the focus to just improving myself, I've learned so much about how can I make myself better. And just by doing that, I was so surprised how a lot of people I get to attract in my life and good people. And from there, I'm just like, it makes me excited to learn more about how human works, how our emotion works, what are the triggers that we actually feel, and why there are insecurities, jealousy, and all of those emotions that would come up, like inside a close relationship, especially.
So, calling you an expert, I'm sorry, shouldn't have said that. She's not an
Really.
expert. But
No.
how would you say Filipinos deal with trust and insecurities in their relationships?
I notice a pattern where girls, when they met a guy and the guy is treating them very nicely, like takes care of them, automatic in their head, I don't want to let go of this man. I'm gonna latch myself to this person because they're afraid. They think that good people are limited, which
It's
is
true.
true.
It's true.
So they're like, oh, this is, and they're afraid to lose that person. And sometimes that can also be a mistake because they're driven by their emotions and their feelings. And along the way in the relationship, you get to notice the differences between the two of you, especially in like foreign relationship, like a Filipina and a foreign guy. Like there's gonna be a lot of cultural differences that would spark along the relationship, but then it's hard to navigate that when you just jump directly into the relationship just because you felt good in the first few days, few months.
A lot of people think Filipinos are really jealous,
Yeah.
but is it more they're more insecure than jealous?
Insecurity, definitely.
Is the
Yeah.
problem? Is that the reason they want to check your Facebook, your phone all the time?
Yeah, I've done that. I've done like looking like that and like checking. And every time I see my partner look at girls in Facebook doing this TikTok dances, I get triggered. I can just feel in my body how it actually makes me feel uncomfortable. And when I started checking into myself, like, what the heck is going on? I'm not really afraid that my partner is gonna leave me. And if I look at the video, I also find the dance really very entertaining. So I couldn't blame
You can't blame them for
for watching. But it's that feeling of insecurity, like feeling of not good enough, is really the reason why you felt that jealousy towards your partner. Like, oh, you like that girl better. That girl has a bigger boobs than I do. I have a small one. And when I actually started realizing that it's just my insecurity, I started this practice of like looking in the mirror and just looking at myself like I have a boobs.
Yes.
Just focus on
She
that.
has boobs.
Like, okay, I have stretch marks, but instead of seeing it as a flaw, I look at it now and like, wow, that's a mark of strength
Mhm.
as a woman, as a mother. And instead of feeling insecure and hiding it, like now I feel confident and be able to really show up.
Mhm.
And I guess that's also a good practice for girls to not feel jealous and insecure, is to build their confidence about themselves, love themselves, love their flaws, and embrace it instead of constantly hating.
You don't think the insecurity and the jealous, once they have a partner, a foreign partner,
Mhm.
the foreigners are known to have more money than a local,
Mhm.
on average. And do you think the insecurity is them losing their meal ticket or somebody that can finance them? Or is it really that they care for somebody and they found someone that can protect them, that they're holding on to?
That's a very good question, and it would depend to the woman that you have, but most likely, at least I speak for myself, is that as a single mom back then, like I just want to have a partner that I can work together with, like both of us can actually help each other. I can be the mother taking care of the house, taking care of the kids, and I want to have someone who's a good provider that will take care of us, and then vice versa. But yeah, because there's I'm not generalizing everything, but most, at least for my experience, a lot of male, like in my neighborhood, and the people that I know, they're just like tambay. They don't have that sense of responsibility. Most of the girls here in the Philippines are the one really grinding for their family.
I sort of know that men are more carefree at a younger
Yeah.
age.
Hmm.
And if a girl gets pregnant and they don't want to support the child or the girl, they
Yeah.
just move. Or they
Exactly.
go live with an aunt somewhere
Yeah.
else. So that, somebody once told me that all Filipinos, well, not, can't use the word all, but a lot of Filipinos believe no matter who they're with,
Mm.
that person is going to leave them someday.
Mm.
They don't believe that they've been lucky enough to find a person that'll be with them forever.
Yeah.
They're always preparing for that guy to disappear.
Yes. They're doing like a self sabotage.
Self-sabotage. That's a good
Yeah.
term, self-sabotage,
Yeah,
yes.
I've done that a couple times. And again, it goes back to that insecurity and lack of self worth. Like, even though I've been treated very nicely, like, I've seen all the efforts, words, effort, action, but still in the back of my mind, you're too good to be true.
Me
Like, you
too,
have
yeah.
the money, you have the looks. There's going to be a lot of girls that would want you. Like, why me among all those girls? Like, what's worthy with me? That's
And,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, say the boyfriend or the partner they're with, and we'll stick with the foreign, we won't go to the Filipinos. But if he's withholding money and threatening, like, I can get a girl anywhere, anytime I want,
Mm.
you know, how does that affect the girl?
I think for most girls, they would really feel threatened and afraid about that because life here is very hard. So there's a lot of girls who just go along with their foreign boyfriend. And that's why for me, I really want to create a channel as well that empowers women here in the Philippines. Like, you may have a foreign boyfriend, but other than being a partner to him, you have your own person. Like, especially if you're a single mom, like you don't expect just all the support comes from your partner. You have to also take responsibility of yourself and for your kids. So now that you have someone to support you, ask this person to support you to be able to be independent and create something and generate something for yourself. That way you will not be afraid that what if this person leave me and find a better, better girl.
Do Filipinas, do they want to upgrade? Like, you know, you're with me.
Mm-hmm.
I have a certain income level, I have a
Mhm.
certain age. If you have a chance to be with a guy that's a little bit younger, a little bit more handsome, a little bit more money, do girls have a tendency to want to upgrade in their relationship?
People always, well, most people tend to think that's better. They have this ideal, of course, you would want better all the time. But then the beauty, the looks, it's not sustainable. Like, okay, I could have a very handsome model and it would feel good in like what, first few days, months, but along the way, when you really integrate life together, like the question is, are your values aligned? And if there are value misalignment there, if you actually don't see things similarly, there's gonna be trouble. What's the point of having a handsome boyfriend if you don't get along? You always have fight. So you would still end up leaving that relationship or be in a miserable relationship.
So we'll switch this up just a little bit. What is a single Filipina looking for in a man? What is, you know, quote, the ideal man for most Filipinos? And I know it's different with everybody, but
Yeah, for before I am thinking that the ideal man that I would want to have is someone that could really provide. We would always want to have a good provider, a responsible person, caring person, someone that would accept me and my kids. But now, as I'm into this, making myself better, I realize the most important thing to find in a partner is to really have values alignment. Do we see the world in the same lens? Do we agree on the same like principle level? Those kind of things, because it would, or do we both commit in improving ourselves and making ourselves personally better?
I've talked to a few Filipinas, even on the channel guys, and I always ask them, you know, if there's a limit to how old somebody is.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them tell me 75, and a lot of them tell me no. And a few tell me, yeah, they have parameters, 40 years old or something. But the one thing in common all these girls had was they were looking for a good man with a good heart.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you're a foreigner and you're coming here, and I'm going to go with the Western because I'm from the
Mhm.
U.S. U.S. cat. You're coming over here and you got baggage. You have misconceptions that every Filipino is trying to scam you
Mm-hmm.
and do bad things. Online, there's more scams happen online,
Definitely. Yeah.
but in person, how can you tell that that Filipino that you meet is a good person, has a good heart? How can you tell? Is it time, family?
It would be very difficult, but I would like tell, those guys is to take it slowly, like, and don't have this expectation in the back of your mind, because I think that's the mistake with a lot of guys. Like, they already have this expectation, like even in the first meeting they're already evaluating the girl. Is this the like girlfriend material girl? Is this the wife material girl? And you can't really know that until you spend enough time with a person. So I would really highly suggest that first, if you click energy wise, chemistry, I believe in chemistry, like if there's this attraction between the two of you, explore that, but don't automatically jump that, oh, this is it. Just get to know each other, try to go out, try to eat food, try to do some like
Some
adventure,
dating,
yeah,
some dating.
together.
But my understanding is Filipinas fall in love easily,
Yeah.
and usually, and if you do your advice and you go slow with this one, and
Mm-hmm.
well, let me go see what this girl is like,
Mm-hmm.
then you get sort of marked as a chick boy, or
Yeah.
or even worse terms,
Mhm.
if you're dating too many
Mhm.
people in the course of your initial visit.
Mm.
So how how does a man explain to that girl, I
Mhm.
want to date multiple women. I like
Mhm.
you, I like going out with you, but I don't understand yet if we're going to be together
Mhm.
forever. So how do you explain to that girl that you want to fool around with others?
That is very tricky because a lot of girls, again, they want to just cling to you, and if you would say that, most girls would definitely think that, oh, you're just a playboy, you just want
Mhm.
to play around, you're not serious. But really, girls, like, I think girls are also doing the same thing. They're just afraid to admit that.
Really?
Like, if you guys met in social, like in dating app, I don't think that the girl is just talking to you. That girl is also talking to a lot of people.
So don't be blinded by
Yeah.
that girl only wants you. You're the choice for the day
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
until you decide which one. Someone also told me girls have sex with men to put their mark on them, to sort of say, you're mine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is that true or is that a misconception? Because it seems like Filipinos go to
Mm-hmm.
bed quickly with foreigners.
I think, again, from my personal experience, a lot of Filipinos are actually very curious. They want to explore, they want to experience, but they're being held back by the
Their
like
culture.
culture here, the religious belief here, and even they would even want like, okay, let's meet at your place. It's because again, it's not because we want to have sex with you right away, but we don't want to be seen in public.
Oh,
Because the gossip and the chismes thing, that I guess a lot of foreigners would like see it like, oh, are you hinting that this is it? And most Filipino also are afraid to say no, so they would end up going along with whatever happens there. So that's the sad part, but
sad part, but happy part. Something when you come here and you're exploring, you're
yeah.
going to investigate about starting your own YouTube channel. And are you going to base that out of Dumaguete area, or are you in Cebu?
Well, I finally moved here in Dumaguete, so I'll be here full time, maybe go back and forth to Cebu. And I definitely want to create my own personal channel where I will be focusing more on the relationship part, couple, talking about what are the problems that couples are actually like having and what are the ways that we could avoid those kind of conflict.
Is that more of once they're together, counseling type thing, or are you just gonna a certain topic like crab mentality and jealousy
Mm.
and insecurities? You're gonna just grab each one of those topics and explore those on the channel?
Mostly, I would certainly be discussing about those topics, those ideas or those feelings and emotion comes up in a close relationship or even holds you back from getting that ideal relationship that you want. So I want to help like individual there who wants to create like a meaningful relationship or couples who wanted to improve their relationship and put their relationship in a much higher level, like
Mhm.
where they can both co-create. Like I see you and Janet really working together very well. Like you co-create doing this content, and
Oh,
it's
yeah,
really
well, yeah, thank
beautiful.
you, yeah. There's one problem I see a lot of guys having is with the families. And the one thing I'm troubling with me right now in my relationship with Janet is how to leave her when I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
And my initial thought was, I just leave her money and she'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Watching more and more what happens around her, I think that's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
The families, I think, is going to chip away at her money. Have you found that to be true, that
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for a good Filipina to say no to the family?
Definitely. Again, that's the sad truth that the guilt that the family actually put into you, it's very heavy. And I also think that that's what's stopping people from growing here is this family obligation, like family guilting them, especially if you have a foreign boyfriend, they automatically expect that, oh, you get the jackpot now, this family oriented thing, you need to help out, you need to like, and it doesn't feel good when you feel obligated to help.
Mhm.
It's so much better when you're actually willing to help. And it, I also cannot blame the family because that was the generation that they grew up with. It's been just passed along
Yeah.
until you decide to actually stand on your own and decide, like,
Put a
you know
stop
what?
to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop this. Like,
That's very hard though
yeah,
for a Filipino to put a stop to something,
mhm,
especially if for so many years the families helped them.
yeah,
Brothers that they work in Manila or
Mhm.
overseas, and they're sending money home all the time. It seems like the children are the social security system here for the parents.
yeah,
As the parents get older, the more kids they have, each one sending a
yeah.
little bit of money, and they're good to go.
That is so true. That is why me being a mother of two, I don't want to continue that,
That trend.
yeah, that trend, that habit of like wanting my kids to support me. And in order for me to break that is for me to be able to stand on my own, like to be independent, to have my own income that when I get old, then I don't necessarily have to ask them for money. And also show them that, hey, like you can also earn your own income at a certain age. You're big enough, find your own, like be independent. And these are things that I learned from like the guys that I'm dating. Like I love asking them question and what's the culture is like in the US.
Mhm.
Like at the age of 18 you get to be independent. And at first it's like that's so weird. It's not
Mhm.
like here if you have a family you still it's
You-
just like extended family.
You build a little hut next to the
Yeah,
house, then you stay there.
exactly.
Is it hard for a foreigner to break up with a Filipino?
I think so. It's because, well, for me, I don't necessarily experience that. But I think it's because, again, most Filipinas, when they already have the foreigner, they want to hold
Hold on.
tight. Like, they don't want to let go
There's a
anymore.
lot of crying. There's a lot of
Yes,
feeling
exactly.
sad when you want to break up with one. Do you think there's two types of girls in the Philippines?
Mhm.
There's the provincial girl,
Yeah.
the poor um, provincial girl who hasn't gone to college, finished high
Mhm.
school, has to work or has a child, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the city girls,
Hmm.
and the city girls are a little wiser,
Yeah.
more street smart, and they're going to college. They're finishing school. They're getting better jobs.
Mhm.
They have their own money. Where do you think a foreigner should be looking for his permanent partner? Let's put him in my age. Let's put him in his 60s.
Hmm.
He's not a playboy. He's looking for a permanent partner. Is it better to be in a smaller town or Cebu better?
I think for the older men who just want to settle down, I would suggest go to, the provincial girls, because those girls, they just want to have, they're also ready to just settle down. They they haven't had this idea of like exploring, going out, partying. So they just want to find a man that they can that can also take care of them, that can also provide for them. But the thing is, be ready to expect that this girl will also have a much higher way when it comes to the family obligation thing. So,
Because they're more of the
yeah,
old-fashioned beliefs.
exactly.
The city girl, being that she probably has a job,
Mm-hmm.
been through school, knows the value of hard work
Yeah.
and the money.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's already been an overseas worker, planning on being an overseas worker. When she meets you as a foreigner, she's really not looking at the cha-ching
Mm-hmm.
pocketbooks. She's meeting you to date more, right?
Yeah.
And then if something happens, develops, that's
Yeah.
all good. So if you want a girl to be with you, live with you, take care of you, old-fashioned ways, provincial.
Yeah.
If you want to party and date a lot, city,
City girl.
city girl. And you're
City girl.
and she's a city
provincial
girl.
mix.
She's both, depending who she's dating at the time. Now, well, glad for you to be on the channel. We wish you the best of luck. Guys, I'm gonna have her back. I'm gonna try to do a live stream with her in the future where you guys can ask Gladys some questions. I'll leave contact information below. It'll be a Facebook account.
Yeah.
Facebook account that you can contact her, ask her any questions you want, watch the progress as she starts a channel. It's not up yet. It's something she's going to develop in the future. So that's it, I guess.